All right, let's talk about two of the trickiest little words in English, get and take. They seem so simple, right? But they cause so much confusion. Stick with me for a few minutes and I promise you're gonna feel so much more confident using them. So, to really get this, I want to start with a story. Picture my friend, Tom. He's in a coffee shop, just trying to order a drink and be polite. But the second the words left his mouth, he felt really awkward. He said, "I will take a coffee, please." Now look, the barista knew what he meant, of course, but Tom said he could feel his face go red. He just knew, deep down, that something about that sentence was just off.
He told me later it felt like he was announcing he was just going to grab the coffee and bolt, like some kind of coffee thief. Does that feeling sound familiar? That little moment of panic where you think you've just used a super common word completely wrong. So how do we fix this for good?
Okay, here's the secret. We're going to forget about memorizing a million different grammar rules. Seriously. Instead, we're going to create one simple, powerful mental picture. And this picture is going to be your guide to making the right choice every single time. It really boils down to this. Get is passive. It's about receiving. And take is active. It's about doing. Think of it this way. One is about something coming to you, and the other is about you going to do something. Let's start with get. I want you to picture mail arriving at your house. You don't go out and hunt it down, right? It just shows up in your mailbox. It comes to you. You are passively receiving it. Simple as that. Now on the flip side, imagine take is like reaching your hand into a cookie jar. That's a totally active move. You are the one doing the action. You are going to the jar and grabbing that cookie. Take is all about the action that you perform. Okay, so let's dig into get a little deeper. We're going to see how it's almost always used for things we receive, whether that's a physical object, a change in how we feel, or even our location. So, here's our rule of thumb. You use get when you're receiving something tangible, like a gift, or when you experience a change, like getting tired, or even when you arrive somewhere, like getting home. In all these situations, something is basically arriving at your doorstep. And you can see this pattern in all these common phrases. You get a job, the offer comes to you. You get tired, that feeling comes over you. You get a message, the information is delivered to you. Even when you get it and understand something, the idea has arrived in your brain. You're always the destination. And this is where it gets really, really cool. Think about advice. You can get advice, that's someone giving it to you, it's arriving in your ears. But when you actively decide to use that advice, you take it. See? That's the perfect example of the difference between passively receiving something and actively doing something with it. All right, let's flip the coin and talk about take. If get is all about being the receiver, then take is all about being the doer. This is where you're the one making things happen. So our working definition for take is all about action. You use it for things you actively do, like taking medicine, or taking a bus, or taking a photo. In every case, you are the one initiating the action. And you see this action principle everywhere. You take a shower, that's something you do. You take a bus, you actively choose to use that transport. You take notes, that's the physical act of writing. You're the one making the move. Here's another fantastic example that just nails it. If you take a break, that means you are actively deciding, okay, I'm gonna stop working now and rest. But if you get a break, whoa, that means you received a lucky opportunity. Something good just happened to you. It perfectly shows that active doing versus passive receiving. Okay, you've got the mental picture. You understand the core idea. So how about a little pop quiz? Let's look at a couple of common mistakes. I'll show you the sentence, you try to fix it, and then I'll reveal the answer. Ready? All right, first one up. He took home very late. Something about that just doesn't sound right, does it? So think about it. Is this an active doing, or is it a passive arriving? And the correct answer is, he got home very late. Why? Because arriving is a passive event. It's like the mail showing up at your door. The destination, home, receives the person. So we use get. Okay, next one. This is a super common one. I got the bus to work. Now think about our rule. Are you actively using the bus, or are you just passively receiving it? And the correct version is, I took the bus to work. You perform the action of choosing and riding that bus. You are the doer, so you take the bus. Easy, right? So, we've gone through the ideas, we've looked at examples. Let's pull it all together into one simple, practical tool you can keep in your back pocket anytime you're feeling stuck. And here it is, your ultimate cheat sheet. Everything on the left side, for get, is about passively receiving. Everything on the right, for take, is about actively doing. Honestly, this one slide has everything you need. Pause and take a look, because this is the whole shebang right here.
And hey, if you forget everything else we talked about, just remember this one thing. Just that mental picture. Is it mail arriving at your door? That's get. Or are you actively reaching for that cookie? That's take. Passive receiving versus active doing.
See, at the end of the day, this isn't about memorizing some boring grammar rule. It's about getting a feel for the language. So now that it's clicked for you, what's one get or take phrase that you're going to start using with total confidence today? Think about it. You've got this.